Throughout the history of arts and crafts, there have been many paintings, sculptures, and chapels that have defied its legacy and inspired countless generations for years. Whether it be the statue of Michelangelo's David, the Sistine Chapel, or even American Gothic, there is always something fascinating about the way artists present their crafts of work to either tell a story, to fascinate people, or even to entertain. But there is one painting out there which I believe to stand out from the rest of the pack. That painting being, of course, the Mona Lisa. Welcome, fellow scholars and students. My name is Jack Behlmer, art critic, and today I will be talking about the painting of the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci and what makes it stand out to me. In this presentation, we will examine what does the Mona Lisa look like, what is the context behind its creation, and what do fellow scholars around the world believe it to be about or represent. But first, we need to know about the Mona Lisa by studying what it looks like. What do I what do I see in this particular painting? What do some of its unique features represent? Is there any criticism I have with the painting? And what story or detail is it trying to tell? Well, as I look at this painting, I see the image of a portrait of a lady dressed in a black robe who is seated in what appears to be an open loggia with dark pillar bases on both sides in the back. In the background of the lady lies a beautiful landscape with mountains covered in snow, a very distant bridge with very little indication of human presence, and widening paths. The woman in the picture has her hands crossed, is veiled, has a very weird smile that people can never indicate whether she's happy or frustrated. And she is only shown from head to waist. The colors that are present are mainly cool, with a few bright spots on the face and neck of the woman. The background colors are presented as blurry and hard to see, while the colors on the woman appear clearer. The colors also appear to be rather muted, as there is no intensity involved except for how dark certain spots are. None of them seem to clash with one another, and they all fit in the picture beautifully. The painting was built up by adding material to it. In the case, in this case, paint in the form of artistic techniques such as sfumato and chiaroscuro, which set the Mona Lisa apart from other portraits of the time. The portrait itself is 30 by 21 inches wide and tall and weighs about 18 pounds. It's pretty typical for a painting like this to be this size and weight. Some components, like the titular Mona Lisa, are higher than the background, and she even covers up almost the entire picture. If I do have any criticisms about it, I would say I would prefer a bit more variety to it. Like maybe there could be, for example, something happening in the background that's happening to her, like maybe a bird or something like that flying outside. Next, we need to figure out what the context behind its creation. Why was the Mona Lisa made? What is the history surrounding this painting? How many versions of it have been made? And what does it symbolize overall? The Mona Lisa was created as a portrait for Lisa Gerardini, commissioned by her husband Francesco de Giocondo, to celebrate the birth of their second son, Andrea. The painting is a visual representation of the idea of happiness, the central motif of the portrait, which makes the work such an ideal. There were four different versions of the Mona Lisa that have been made by Da Vinci and his students. But at the same time, there have been other versions that have been made by scammers. In the year 2021, which is about 3 years ago, a very famous fake Mona Lisa was held out for auction for $3.4 million. A man by the name of Raymond Hecking bought the painting at an antique store in the 1950s, and he kept insisting to people that the one he bought was the original, and the one in Paris was rather a fake, which provides the evidence of its popularity across media and leaves ambiguity as to what it is true about it or not. Finally, we we have the opinions of fellow scholars and what they believe the Mona Lisa represents. What exactly do they view the painting as? What do they see the titular artist Leonardo da Vinci as? How do some opinions contrast with others? And how they would improve upon the artwork? Some of people believe that the person in the painting, Lisa Gerardini, does not exist, as no records or private information has been found regarding her, and therefore the unknown identity has left the painting to whatever characterization of what the public wants it to be. As mentioned before, meanwhile, people have also talked about the artistic excellence with the style of Sfumato. Overall, the Mona Lisa has, and its popularity and views from others, is the result of chance, circumstance, its artistic excellence, and external events surrounding it, all of which makes it an enduring mystery to be unfolded. The thoughts they have about Leonardo da Vinci himself, meanwhile, range from brilliant to magnificent. Some people consider him as the quintessential Renaissance man for many different reasons aside from the Mona Lisa. And meanwhile, a lot of his notes that he left behind are filled with his inventions, observations, and theories across various fields. Some people even believe that he was ahead of his time, as many of his inventions and ideas have gone on to inspire future generations to come. In conclusion, based on what the Mona Lisa looks like, the context behind its creation, and the opinions of fellow scholars around the world, all of these points contribute to why the Mona Lisa stands out to me. As I've mentioned before, throughout the history of arts and crafts, there have been many paintings, sculptures, and chapels that have defined its legacy and inspired countless generations for years. There will always be something fascinating about the way artists represent their crafts to either tell a story, to fascinate people, or even to entertain. But then, but the Mona Lisa to this day still stands out to me from the rest of the pack, and therefore always will. So my works cited, and I'll take your questions now.